Jack threw up his hands in mock exasperation. Well, I'm all out of ideas. Good, your first couple of tries weren't all that great. I thought they were pretty good. Oh sure, for being half-assed they weren't bad at all, Chastity said, rolling her eyes some, and then giggled. Baby cakes. Honestly. Jack shrugged, and was about to say something further when Mary came in. Thought you two would like something to drink, she said, and gave each of them a baby bottle full of something that looked like fruit juice. Jack looked at his bottle mournfully, and Mary left the room without another word. When she was gone, he looked at Chastity, who had a similar expression on her face. They are kidding, right? She asked. You stole my question. And I'll bet they aren't. Chastity heaved a sigh. Well, at least no one's around to see us. Cheers, she said, and raised her bottle in something resembling a toast and started to drink. Jack shrugged, toasted, and drank. The juice was good, he thought, so it made using the bottle only slightly less embarrassing. He stopped after a bit and looked at the bottle. I wonder if they're going to have us review this product as well, he mused. Wouldn't surprise me, Chastity agreed. But is it just me, or are they going a little overboard with this? I think it's a combination of the two, Jack said. Chastity leaned back in her seat. Yeah, she muttered. At least they're paying us. That's most of the reason I'm putting up with this, plus, who knows how much they'll give us for being such good little children during the week. Chastity thought about it, and then nodded. Point. All the more incentive, it seems to just kick back and enjoy the ride as much as we can. Jack nodded, but didn't say anything further on the matter. By this time he too had a dampened diaper to contend with, though he wasn't about to admit it to Chastity. He hadn't felt the inclination to make a big deal out of it, so he'd just surreptitiously taken his own advice and gone in the diaper. They were convenient, yes, but that didn't mean he wanted to keep them around. Part of him wondered just how he'd be able to survive the rest of this week, more money than he'd ever seen at one time and beautiful girl notwithstanding. Of course, as if someone was doing his or her level best to further annoy him, Jean came in and announced it was time for bed. Jack looked at her until he realized just what time it was. Almost 11, Dang, where does the time go? That's right, normally we have lights out a lot earlier, but you two are special cases. Reluctantly, both teenagers stood up, abandoning their bottles without any reluctance whatsoever. They were mostly empty, anyway, and filed out of the entertainment room. Mary happened upon them in the hallway and took charge, as it were, of Chastity while Jean took care of Jack. This pre-bed diaper change for both teens was a little different than the first two. Most notably, the diaper they were put into for bed was practically half again thicker than the diapers they had been wearing thus far. When they asked about it, they were told that it was a special overnight style of diaper, twice the thickness to accommodate any accidents. Neither Jack or Chastity liked the word accident, but they figured that it was a term used when addressing people who would actually need these diapers, rather than the product testers. Sleeping in a crib was a whole new kettle of fish, though. Chastity was at first extremely reluctant to get into it and asked Mary several times if she could sleep on the couch in the entertainment room. Mary politely said no, pointing out that the crib was a relatively new product and that it needed competent user feedback. Besides, Mary added, it's only for a week. And so, Chastity went into her crib for the first time, and even though the mattress and bedding was comfortable, she wasn't fond of the idea of having bars all around her when she had spent the previous 13 years sleeping in a bed without them. Jack was just as reluctant, and only very grudgingly did he get into it and attempt to become comfortable. Like Chastity's crib, the mattress and bedding was quite comfortable, and when both the nurses had finished with their charges, they shut off the lights and closed the doors to a crack.